Okay, so yesterday, what we have done is we have just included our CSS external style sheet. Sorry, we have included external style sheet from the external file. Okay, so this is what yesterday we have done. We have moved all the styles to our external CSS file. From there, we included everything actually. Okay, okay. I think I will open this file as well. Okay. Okay, so this is what simple system. Okay, now I will tell you the CSS properties. In what are the ways we can okay, in what are the ways we can apply the CSS styles. Okay, which means today we are going to see like CSS properties to apply the different CSS. So once we learn the CSS properties, we will design a simple website. Like how can we create a simple website using the CSS styles as well as CSS properties. But while designing the web page, I might use some other new HTML tags as well. Maybe on the fly you can understand this as well. Okay, so I don't want to take too much time for the HTML tags, which will be everything will be same. Only thing is I will explain deep about CSS properties, which will be something different other than this HTML tags. But the HTML tags, whatever we have seen yesterday, right? Everything will be same only. Just if we know the tags, if we use these tags, then it will show something in the browser. But HTML CSS properties will be different for each and everything. So I will go for a little deeper in the CSS properties. But while creating a website or designing a website, you will understand a lot of the tags which is available in the HTML tags. Okay. So these are the tags which we have seen yesterday. It's for just for only the sample purposes. So while designing our website, we will learn all these things actually. Okay. So now I will tell you the CSS styles, all the CSS properties regarding the CSS section. Okay. The one by one I will explain. So the first one is color. Actually, already we have seen like color is the one which we have used it like this. So color means what it will do. It will apply the color for the particular element. The same thing, font size. Font size is from the name itself. You will understand. This is specifically for size of the font, which means it's like how much size you want to show the font. It's like again it will be measured by px or percentage or rem. This I will tell you the difference, all these things. So px means it's like a pixel irrespective of the size of the monitor or display browser. Percentage means again among these three we can include any one of the value. Okay, px means it's like a pixel. This is percentage. This is the rem. Sorry, TM actually. So here percentage means it depends on the screen. In case if I'm opening in the mobile, the value will be different. If I open in the laptop, it will be in different one. If I open in the big size monitor, the value will get different size. Depends on the screen size, this percentage will differ. This EM means again it depends on the some scenario, but it's like a percentage of this thing. Okay, so I will tell you the all these difference later actually. So the font size is nothing but it's like a size of the particular element or specifically to apply for the text actually. It won't give any width or height, specifically to like the text which is the element which has. Okay. The next one is display property. Display property, the main usage of display property is to hide the element or to display the element, which means display none. It has 4 properties. We can use display none or this R is just for only for our conventional, and this is won't useful for the CSS properties. This is for only for your learning purpose. Okay, display none we can give, or we can provide block, or we can provide inline. Maybe I will use this. Okay, this is enough, right? Okay, this are. Otherwise, we can provide inline block. So these are the values I can provide it for the display property. Okay, this is what about display property. Display none may come. Display block, display inline block. Okay, so any one of the value I can provide. So display none, display none means from the name itself you will understand this will remove the element from the DOM. Okay, this is the first one. Block means it will make the element as a block. So yesterday we have seen block element, Indian element, right? The same thing. If I want to show or if I want to display some element, I can use the block element or block property. And if I want to make the element as an inline, I can use this inline property, which means in case if I want to make the block element into inline element, then I can use this one. Inline block means what it will do, it will behave both inline as well as block. In case if we want to apply one element as an inline block, then it will become an inline block. So we can provide only one value, but here I'm just telling what are the ways we can define for the display actually. Okay. Okay. The next one, what we are going to see is one second. Okay. So okay. The next one, what we are going to show is float element. Float actually. Float is nothing but it's like a making the element float. Which means from the name itself, we will understand float is specifically for to float. It has float right we can provide or left. So either one of the value we have to provide for the float. From the name itself, it will make the element to the float actually. Okay, which means what it will do, it will, in case if I give this right, the element will become, for example, as you can see here, everything is float left actually, which means it's a default by default browser. So in case if we want to make the element into the right side, then if I give float right means this element will become right side of the page. So this is what about float left or right. If I left means automatically the element will move to the left side. Right means it will go to the right side actually. And it has one more value called none. None means it won't have right or left. None means it will override the property or it will remove the property from the float. So mostly none won't be useful until unless if we want to override anything. But we can use right or left actually. Okay, based on this scenario, we can apply the right or left for the particular float actually. Okay, this is what about float property. The next property is any other thing. Okay, next property is padding. Okay, I think I will go for margin. Margin. 1 second. I think border display. I think yeah, I will go one by one. So maybe I will go for background image. Once again, I will list everyone. So everything background color, and then the important thing is position, and then border. Then any other thing, border, position, all these things, border radius. So all these things we will see it now. I'm just mentioning everything. Border radius, border style. So here I'm listing only which are important for our application, for specifically for design the website. Apart from this, it has a lot of things. Maybe if you understand these basics, you will understand the remaining thing easily. So I'm not going to the all the CSS properties. I'm just telling only the major things which will be useful for to create our simple website. If you understand all these basics, then you will understand all these things. Okay. So the next one is the main thing is overflow. And then adding position size. Height with okay. So these are the major CSS properties to create a website. Apart from this, it has a lot of things, but I'm not mentioning here. We can go with these things actually. So as of now, this is enough. Okay. So in case if you want to create a proper website, this is enough. Apart from this, it has something CSS. So while designing website, I will tell you some other CSS property as well. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay, we will go one by one. So I think this float I have explained. Okay, from the background image means from the name itself we will understand this is specifically for to apply the image for the element. Okay, when we want to apply some image for the particular element, then we can use this background image. And the background color again it's specifically for to create a background color for the particular element. For the element. Okay, this is the next one. And the overflow property. This is like a little different actually. What this overflow will do, it has a lot of things, but here I'm telling only the straight meaning for this particular property. But I will explain you what is the usage and how it will be useful in terms of website designing, other usages as well. But here I am telling only the straightforward meaning for what is the use of overflow. Okay, from the name itself we will understand when the particular element overflowing more than the fixed width or height, that time if we want to hide the element, then we can use the overflow, which means, for example, just to consider for particular element, I have provided height as 50 pixel, okay, and width as 40 pixel. But somehow my content is more than 50 pixel or more than 40 pixel means what it will do, it will come out of the particular div action, particular parent element or particular element. So in that time, I want to hide the overflow content or I want to make it as a scroll actually. For example, yeah, as you can see here itself, in the editor itself, as you can see here, this is the window size, correct, right? So this is the window size of the my text bar. But when I am typing more than this window size, automatically it will show the scroll bar because it knows the content size is more than the window size. So it shows the scroll bar. So in case if I remove this content, maybe more than the window size, you can see there is no scroll bar. Am I right? The same thing will applicable for website also. In website, you are telling like to show content only for the particular height and width. But somehow, in case if the content is more than the aligned height or width, that time we can take either two decisions. One thing, we can hide the content. This is the one option. We may hide the content, or we can add the scroll bar to our. We can add scroll to the element. This is the either one option. So we have to take either we have to hide the content or we have to add the scroll bar to the particular element. So in case if you are not doing these two options, what it will do, it will come out the window or it will come out the element, then it will overlap all the sibling element. It will overlap on the sibling element. So which means if we know that particular content is going to overflow, maybe if you are getting the content from the server, which means we don't know what is the server will provide the data. It may have huge data, it may have less data. So better if you are mentioning overflow for the element which is going to get the data dynamically, then we have to provide the overflow for the particular element, which we may hide the content or we may add the scroll bar based on the content. Okay, for this thing, what is the value I can provide is for overflow, I can provide overflow none, I think so. One second. Overflow scroll. So I think I can provide this overflow hidden. Overflow hidden I can provide, which means it will hide the data if it is overflowing the maximum height or width. Otherwise, I can provide scroll. So the scroll will do, as you can from the name itself, you will understand. When it overflowing the height and width, mentioned height and width, automatically it will add the scroll bar for the particular element. Okay, so like this, as you can see here, this code will be shown. So I will show you this thing as well. So in further classes, I will show you like how can we include how can we include all these things actually. Okay, okay. The next one is height and width. This is related with the overflow only. For example, height means if I want to make the element to particular height, then I can mention the height. For example, if I mention x 50 pixel, then what it will do? It will have only the particular height of 50 pixel. It won't become the maximum of 50 pixel. The same thing will be applicable for width as well. So in case if I mention as a 100 pixel as the width, then what it will do, it won't give the maximum, it won't go for the maximum width. It will have only the particular width actually. And one more thing, this height and width will be applicable for all the elements, and instead of pixel, I can provide the percentage as well. Okay, percentage means what it will do. Based on the, as I told earlier, percentage means based on the window size, it will be allocated. That I will tell you later. Maybe now we will consider only the pixel, px actually. So I will tell you like what is the usage of percentage in the upcoming classes actually. Okay, as of now, just consider only the pixel. But in the later classes, I will tell you what is the usage of percentage actually. Okay, okay. The next one is okay. The next one is position actually. So position, what it will do, I think for the position, which means it has 4 values: fixed, static. Sorry, I need to put fixed, static, or absolute, or relative. Okay, so these are the 4 values. Any one of the value I can provide, but all these things will have will work on a different manner. Everything will have different manner, and but the implementation will be same, but the output will be little different. And one more thing, along with the position, it expects the minimum of 2 values, which means in case if you provided the position, what it will expect, it should expect like left or right, left, sorry, left, right, top. Maybe we can say left, top, right, left, top, right, bottom. So any 2 of the values we need to provide actually. So this means this is the clockwise actually. Okay, clockwise means left side, top, left, top, right, bottom. This is like a clockwise actually. Not like exactly this has to be like, we have to provide like this. Something I'm just explaining. This clockwise will need for upcoming CSS properties. Okay, now consider this thing. So I have declared as I have mentioned all this in a clockwise. So in this clockwise, if I give any one of the position value, it expects the 2 minimum any one of the 2 properties, which means either left and right I need to provide, and either top and bottom I need to provide, which means left or right I need to provide either one of the value, and right or the top and bottom I need to provide actually. Okay, so in case if I provide left is 50 pixel and the top is 50 pixel, what it will do, the element will be positioned irrespective of content. In case, for example, from the left 50 pixel, which means from the left side 50 pixel and from the top 50 pixel. Okay, maybe consider this is like a from the left 50 pixel, from the top 50 pixel means the particular element will be placed here. Even if particular content is exist, it won't bother or it won't create any issues. It will be overlap on the particular element. So this will be useful for in case if you see the Google, if I set something, as you can see here, if I scroll, no, if I, as you can see, right, if you scroll, you can see the particular, the top header is not moving anywhere. It will be sticky in the same place. Okay, so this is because of position actually. Where they may use like fixed actually. Fixed means what it will do, it will be stick there. It will be fixed in the browser. So here they are dynamically keeping the particular header actually. Okay, this is what about fixed. So in case if I set something, as you can see, the particular header is fixed actually. Okay, this is what about fixed. Then we can see the same thing in a lot of websites where the something will be fixed irrespective of the content. As you can see here, this won't be overlapped by anything. This content which I am scrolling here, no, it goes under the this fixed actually. This is because we are using the position fixed for the particular element, which will overlap the content. Still, you can see the content is getting overlapped by the header actually. Okay, this is what about fixed actually. Fixed. And the same thing we can go for static as well, but I will tell you, I will explain you static a little later. And we will go for the absolute and relative. And this absolute and relative, maybe this absolute will work like the same way of the fixed, but thing it is, this fixed can be measured by the window size, which means this left 50 pixel, top 50 pixel will be measured from the window size, but this absolute will be measured by the window size in case if any of the parent If any of the parent element is having the relative, then it will be considered from the particular parent element. Which means fixed means what it will do. If I give top 50 pixel, sorry, left to 50 pixel, top 50 pixel means it will consider from the window size. Irrespective of any content, it will consider from the window size. But if I give position absolute, and for any of the parent is having the position relative, then what it will do, it will consider from the top 50 pixel, left to 50 pixel from the parent element instead of the window size actually. This is the difference between fixed as well as absolute actually. Okay, so this I will tell you, I will show you the real-time example as well. So now just consider, just understand the meaning. If you are not understanding, you can ask me this thing. I think the question fixed actually. Okay, so okay. So all these things I will explain in this position: fixed, static, absolute, relative, left, top, bottom, all these things. Okay, all these things I will explain you little later with the real-time examples. So after all these things, okay. The next one, from the name itself, I think border or border radius am I having? Okay, so maybe I will create a border here. Okay, so this border, what it will do, from the name itself we will understand, it will create a border for our application. Which means around the element, if we want to add border, for example, you will understand where you can understand. Yeah, as you can see here, maybe somewhere anything border in the Google. Yeah, maybe I will use the I will show the image of border actually. Yeah, as you can see here, this is the different type of borders to our element. So these borders we can apply in our element. It's not okay. Yes, this is the different type of borders to our application. So to our elements actually. So based on these conditions, we can create our different borders, which means dotted. This is like a one more border. Dash is like another border. Solid is like a one more border. Double is like another border. Blue, ridge, inset, outset, none, hidden. Okay, these are the different borders to our application. We can use any one of the borders for the particular element. So in case if I apply any one of the borders, automatically it will show the border for the element. As you can see here now, in our yesterday's class, we never have any border actually, but only for the button you can see there is a black color border. This will be applicable by the default for our application. Okay, so instead of because for some elements every browser will have the default styles like that. For the button it has some default border, and I will tell you how can we override this border as per our requirement. This we will see later, but border means based on the border design it will show something actually. That's it. Okay, from border radius means radius of the, it's like it will create a curve around the particular element. As you can see here in the button right now, in the button right, you can see the border radius will be shown. Instead, as you can see here, it is has some the same without any curve. It's like a straight line. Okay, it does not have any curve. But as you can see, it has a little curve. If I want to add any other border radius, that is also I can provide. For example, here I can provide border radius. Yeah. So this is what about border radius. This is exactly a round, but we have added a border radius. Due to that, it become a little circle kind of thing. It is not exactly circle. We have just, it's a square, which we have created a radius. Due to that, it become a little circle actually. Okay. This is what about border radius. In case if I want to have any border radius or any button which is like a curved design, that time we can go for the border radius according based on our page requirement or client requirement. Maybe I will show you any buttons which may have border radius buttons. Yes, you can see here. No, this is what border radius button. So normally, as you can see here, this is the button which we are given by the browser. Apart from this, in case if we want to create a radius button which may have the rounded curve, then we can go for this thing. If I want to show button like this, then I have to use the CSS property called a border radius. Okay, so this is what about border radius. Okay, the next one is curve. So I will show you how can we apply this border radius. This border radius will expect the three different three parameters. One is size of the border. Sorry. This border radius will expect only the measurement of 2050 pixel. Okay, it will expect like how much border radius has to be created. Sorry, it won't expect three parameters. Yeah, one more thing. This border, the first property, this border will expect the three parameters. One is first is the measurement, like how much border it has to show. For example, I am providing 4 pixel. 4 pixel means the the element for the particular, the border of the particular element will become the outside border will become 4 pixel, and I need to provide the type of the border, which means it's like a solid or dashed or something. So here I'm providing a solid means it's like a simple line will be drawn around the element. Okay, this is what about solid. The next one is I need to provide the color of the border, which means if I provide black, then border will become a black. Actually, if I provide red, it will take the red color as the border. If I provide any other color, then it will become a particular color. So here, this is the three parameters will be mandatory for the particular border. So 4 pixel, solid, black. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, the next one is cursor. Cursor means it has around, I think it has a default is the first one. Default will be, by default will be assigned by the browser. And the next one is we can provide cursor. We can provide pointer. Pointer means it will have a hand symbol. This is, as you can see here, right? This hand symbol. No? Whenever I am going to this particular thing, the hand symbol will be created in the cursor. If I go somewhere, you can see the cursor. This is the default cursor. This is the hand symbol. This is what about pointer. If I want to use some pointer, whenever I'm hovering on a particular element, then I can use the concept of pointer actually. That's it. Default means it will go for the particular default. That's it. Okay. So the next one is, okay. The next one is border actually. So this border, what it will do? This will already be a seen. Okay. You don't need actually. Once again, I will give you questions. Okay, the next one is okay. This is height and will be only one. Okay, the next one is what we are going to see is margin and padding actually. Okay, so margin and padding, what it will do? It will create as a margin for around the particular element. Okay, we will see the padding later. So in this margin, we have to provide 4 values. We can provide 3 values, 2 values, 1 value. So first I will tell you the 4 value, then remaining thing I will explain you in the further classes. Okay. So in the margin, we have to provide the 4 values, which is nothing but the clockwise value. Left side, top side, right, bottom. Okay, which means left side, top, right, bottom. Okay, these are the 4 values we need to provide for our application, for our particular element actually. Okay, so here left means if I provide margin 10 pixel, then for the left side for the particular element it will be assigned to the 10 pixel. If I provide 15 pixel, for the top of the particular element it will assign the margin of 15 pixel. Right means if I provide 20 pixel, it will align the right side. Bottom means it will go for 20 pixel. So this is what about all the margin 10, 15, 20, 20. Okay, this is what about 4 values actually. So this we can reduce into 2, this we can reduce into 3, this we can reduce into the 1 as well. So which means if I 3 means what it will do, if I provide 3 means top, right, left, bottom, which means 3 means top, right and left and the bottom. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is the third one, which means by applying the 3 values. The same thing we can go for top and 2 values, which means what it will 2 values means top and right. sorry, top and bottom. Top and bottom. The first value will be top and bottom. The second value will be right and left. Okay, this is what about for 15. For top and bottom, it will be allowed for 10 pixel, and then right and left will be 20 pixel. Okay. So this is what about the last one is one value. So one value means from the, you will understand, for all the top, bottom, everything will be combined with the same value. Margin of 10 pixel means what it will do. If for everywhere, this will apply the same value. Okay. This is what about margin of 10 pixel. Okay. So now the same, all these properties will be applicable for padding itself. Same thing. Just I am copying everything and I'm pasting it here. So instead of margin, if I paste padding, then that is a padding. That's it. So for padding also the same thing will be applicable. Now I will tell you what is the difference between margin and the padding actually. Okay. So margin means what it will do. It will apply the margin for the particular element, but around the element it will push the element from the outside. Yeah, it will push the element from the outside. Padding means it will push the element from the inside actually. Okay. So this is what about margin and the padding actually. Okay, which means margin means what it will do. It will push the element from the outside. I think so. Once again, I will confirm it long back. Yeah. Okay. So which means margin is around. It will come around the element again. The same thing, but it will be full control outside of any borders actually. Okay. Yeah. Margin means outside of the borders. Outside of the borders actually. Okay. Which means it will. If I provide anything, the outside of the border it will become created. But and one more thing, if I provide any background color, it won't apply actually. Okay. Margin means it won't take the background color. So margin won't take the background color. Okay, this is what about margin. Okay, the same thing, padding opposite of the definition, but all the values will be same, but opposite of the definition of the margin, which means padding what it will do inside of the border and will take the background color. This one will take the background color. This is what about margin and padding. So this is very important concept for our application and whenever we are using the margin and padding. So in case if I want the particular element should be like as you can see here, right? The left side and right side it has background color. It means here they are using a padding because it pushes the element from the inside with the background color. So during this scenario, we need a padding actually. In case without padding, if I want to, for example, as you can see here, this example, I think here, yeah, okay. Here you can see, this two select. Here we are having one select. Here we are having one more select. Here between that it has a lot of gaps. That's because of margin. Margin means without any background color, it will push the element. Okay, this is what about margin. If I want to make the element with the background color, then I need to use the padding. But I will show you the real-time example of how can we use all these things in real life. Okay, so this is what about all the CSS properties. So now we will go through like one by one. How can we use it in our application? Okay. So any doubts here, or shall I go for the real-time example? Okay. I will show you the example. Okay, I think I will take the yesterday's example itself. Just I'm applying only the CSS, right? And one more thing, yesterday we have seen classes, which means using the dot. How can we access the classes? This thing we have seen yesterday itself. I think we didn't see the ID. I think we will see the later. Maybe I will tell you the example. But in terms of CSS properties, there will be any changes. Using the class name, we can apply our CSS properties. Okay, from there I will start our own CSS properties now. Okay, now what I am going to do is maybe I will close everything. I will reduce the size. Maybe I have reduced this. Okay, I will reduce into the 200 pixel. Okay. The first thing what I'm going to do is color. I think color itself, color yesterday itself we have seen. So which means it will apply the particular color for the particular element. Maybe I will reduce the window size. Okay. So as you can see here, okay. So now color means I think yesterday itself we have seen. So I don't want to explain one more time. Which will apply the color for the particular text. That's it. Okay. So now I will go for the next property called font size. Font size is what we will do. It will assign the particular size for the particular text. In case, for example, as you can see here, you can take this test, right? This test, I want to make this a little bigger. So what I can do is I can apply the font actually. Font means, so test, yeah. This test is apply here actually, okay. So for this test, I want to add the little, I want to increase the font size. So what I can do is, I can apply the class font size. Maybe class I'm using class actually. Okay, we can provide whatever you want. So this is the class name I'm providing. Okay, for this class name, I want to apply the CSS property. Maybe I instead of this thing, it may like little generic. So I will build font. Build font size. Okay, this is the one I'm just providing. I'm copying this thing. If I go here, div underscore font underscore size actually. Okay, so now here I'm providing font size. I'm providing a maybe like instead of 20 pixel I'm providing. Okay, so now I need to add this. Okay, now if I refresh it, you can see the text become little increased. So instead of 20, I'm giving for 50. So now if I refresh it, you can see here it become little bigger. That's because I'm increasing the font. Irrespective of anything, this also will get increased. So here I'm providing the pixel. That's because I need the static way of font size actually. Okay, so this is what about font size of 50 pixel. Okay, the next one is okay, now you understand it. The same font size I can apply for everywhere. So in case if you want to increase this font size, maybe like you can see here now, the input type text is little lesser. If I want to increase the font size, then I can do the same thing, which is nothing but, for example, if I want to use the checkbox. Okay, already this text box is having some other class called red actually. For this red color, I want to increase the font size. Maybe I will go for the red color and I will increase the font size as 25 pixels. As you can see here, everything this also will get increased. This also will, so if I increase, as you can see here now, this text box is having little bigger font than the previous one, because now we have given the font size as 25 pixels. Due to that, wherever we are using the red color as a class name, so here also we are using. Due to that, the particular element, wherever it has the red color, it become a little bigger than the normal one. I am removing this as well. Okay, now I will go to the next CSS property, which is nothing but display property. As I told, a display property is specifically for to hide and to show the element from the page or from the DOM. DOM stands for, maybe I will tell you. So DOM stands for document object model. Okay, so this DOM stands for document object model. It's not like any technical word or something. What it will do, it will create the entire HTML page will be considered as a DOM only. Okay, that's what it is. Not like particular. We can consider a particular element. For example, this is like the element which is inside the DOM. That's it. Okay. So what it will do, the entire page is called document object model. So we can say whenever we want to remove the element for the particular page, or whenever we want to remove the element for particular DOM, then we can use the concept of display. With display, what it will do, if I give display none means it will remove the element from the particular page or element. For example, okay, okay, here you can see here the simple headings is there. No? This element I want to show it. I want to hide the element now. Maybe I will show the element dynamically, but now I want to show the element. Sorry, I want to hide the element. Okay, how can I do it? So, which means simple heading. Okay, so this is the one, right? Not red color. Yeah, so this is the one I want to hide to in our application. Okay, so to avoid that, what I can do is, or to hide the element for the particular element, what I can do is I can creating some other class, something like hide element. Okay, now if I save it and I can go for this thing, display bug. I am providing a display none actually. Okay, sorry, I am providing. I am displaying none. What it will do? It will hide the element from the DOM. So in case if I file save on, sorry. So as you can see here now, the particular element is hidden from our application. Okay, that is because we are hiding the element from our application. Yes, this is what about display none actually. Okay, the same thing. I will remove this. Okay, display hide element. Okay, the next element, next property is called display block property. Block property, what it will do? It will show the element or it will make the element as a block. Either this display none block, we will see little deeper or little further. Sorry, little. More clear in the JavaScript integration. But as of now, just understand the meaning, straightforward meaning for the both properties, which means if I give display none for the particular element, it will hide the element. If I give display block, it will show the element in the particular element. So whenever we are using a JavaScript, we can dynamically add the property, remove the property, which means it becomes a little animation kind of thing, which means hide and show means the element will be shown for the particular timing, and for the particular timing, the particular element will be removed from the DOM. It's like a little kind of animation. So in that scenario, we can use the JavaScript for hide and show the particular element. Okay. So this is what about displaying none on block actually. Okay. Yes. So the next one is inline and inline block. Inline means again it make the element to the inline. For example, maybe yeah, I can go for this one. So this test is there now. So yeah, div fonts is there, right? I now this element is in a block element. Instead of block element, if I want to make this element as an inline, I can do that, which means inline. If I provide inline means now the block element will become an inline. So if I refresh it, you can see here now the Google become online. That's because we made the element as a inline. So due to that, this block element will become an inline in our application. Okay, so this is what about inline. So, but normally people won't use this type of this thing, but this and all is like a applicable in our CSS classes. That's it. This is not like normally we won't use because this is not the proper way of converting the one a block element into the inline element. But this will be useful in terms of some scenarios, in extreme scenarios, or if you are working in a support project where you want to show something differently, that time we can convert the block element into the inline element. Okay, during that scenario, we can use this concept of converting the block element into the inline element. That's it. So this is like a, you can see now I will remove this display inline, and if I refresh it, you can see now the element become block. So due to that, after as I told, as we have learned yesterday itself, uh, this now this block element will take the entire width of the particular window. Due to that, the element come into the next line. Okay. Yep. That's it. Okay. So this is what about display block element and none actually. Okay, none means it will hide the element. As you can see here now, this hide element, because of this thing, the element become hide actually. In case if I comment, it's like a comment. I think I hope you people know. So if I comment this one, if I refresh it, you can see here now the element will be shown. If I remove the thing, then you can see the element will be hidden from our application. Okay. Okay. The next one, what are we going to see is float actually. Okay. This float, what it will do, as you can see here from the name itself, you will understand. It will move or it will float the element right side or left side. So wherever I am mentioning the float property for the particular element, it will make the element to the right side or left side. Okay, so what I can do is, okay, I will do this element. So in case if I want the H2 into the left side of the browser, for example, now this sample heading is there now, it is in the left side. Now I want to make to the right side of the browser, means I can provide the float right, for example here. Now the element become right side for the particular window. That's because we have given the float right. Due to that, the element become the right side of the window actually. Okay. This is what float right actually. Float right means automatically the element will become the right side of the particular window. So remaining elements will go to the little above. As you can see here, right, the sample heading will become to the little upper than the previous one. In case if I remove this one, now it becomes here. In case if I remove this thing, it will become this. Okay. 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 So this is what about sample heading actually. Okay. So any other doubts here regarding this float property? If I do left means automatically it will go to the left side, but now I am not showing anything. Now let it be. So if you have any notes, you can ask me in the float. Float means what it will do, it will float the element, but it has some constraints as well. So in designing the website, I will tell you what is the constraints. And one more thing, along the float, we have to use the overflow property as well. Mostly whenever we are using a float, right, along with the float, the overflow has to be come. I will tell you why we need to use float and overflow uh, as a for the particular element or parent element, that I will tell you later. But as of now, just consider whenever we are using a float, we have to use this overflow as well. This is very important in terms of designing purposes. Okay. Okay. This is the next one. The next one, what we are going to see is, okay. The next one, what we are going to see is hide the content actually. Sorry, overflow actually. So background color, I think you will understand. Background color is to add the background color for the particular element. Okay, for example, in case if I want to use the background color for the sample heading, right. Okay, just consider this sample heading right is there. No? For this content, I want to apply there some background color. So background color red color and destroyed. Okay, so now what will happen is, as you can see here, now this will get the background color. That's because we have provided the red color. Due to that, this gets the background color as a red color. That's it. Okay. So this is what about particular background color of the particular application. Okay, that's it. Okay. The next one, what we are going to see is, okay. The next one what we are going to see is overflow. So this overflow already explained, like whenever the content is overflowing in the particular element, that time we have to use the overflow hidden and overflow scroll action. Okay. So now just consider this example. Maybe like I will create a new element. Maybe because I don't want to confuse with the existing thing. So I will create some bigger content here using the lower website. So I'm creating a dummy content. I think you people know this thing. So I'm creating like 10 paragraph. Okay. So up to this I'm just creating. Okay, this is the content I want to show it into the particular element. Now here I'm adding some class called content. Okay, this is the class name. Okay, just leave it now. So for this content, what I am providing is, I am providing a background color of blue, and then height is 100 pixel with this 100 pixel. Okay, so this is the one I'm just providing. In case if I close this in and if I refresh it, as you can see here, this is the height and this is the width actually. Okay, maybe instead of 100, I will provide like width will be like little bigger, like 250. Okay, so with this taking the proper manner, but height, as you can see here, the content is overflowing the height. So this is, as you can see here, this blue color is up to here only, which means the height is only for, sorry. The height is only for the 100 pixel, but still the content is more than the 100 pixel. Due to that, what will happen? It will come out the particular element. So during this scenario only, we need to apply the overflow property. This overflow property, what it will do? Yeah. This overflow property, what it will do? It will control the element based on the height and width. So whenever the element is having, the element content is become overflowing more than the mentioned height and width, then we need to use the height and width actually. Okay, that's it. So this is what about overflow. So now I will apply the overflow actually. Okay. So now the problem is about the content is overflowing more than the mentioned width and height. To avoid this thing, what we need to do for this content, I need to apply the overflow property. So here I'm mentioning as a overflow. First property is hidden. This hidden, what it will do? It will hide the content from the particular element. So here, as you can see here, now the content is not shown, but still the content is there, but it is not shown. That's because we make the element as a hidden. What it will do? It will hide the overflowing content. Okay, this is the first property. In case we put like solve, what will happen? This what it will do? This will make the element as a scroll actually. As you can see again now, maybe I will add the color in a different one. I will add the font color as, will add maybe instead of background color. The reason I'm using red color is like any background color is to understand the within it. Okay. So now as you can see here, the scroll bar will be added. That's because we have created one more property called background height with the overflow scroll. Due to that, we get the proper value here. Okay. So in case along with this, if I consider, if we do like this, then automatically this will hide the scroll bar as well as hide the overflowing content as well, because I'm providing overflow here. Instead of this hidden, if I provide overflow scroll, then it will show the scroll bar here. So what it will do, it will add the scroll to the particular element. Then whenever we want, we can use the the scroll, and we can scroll the scroll bar, and I can read the content actually. Okay. So this is what about overflow scroll actually. Okay. So any doubts still now? Okay. This is what about height is called actually, all these things. Okay. And then height with, I think I have explained along with this thing. Height means if I mention the height, then it will take only the particular height. Width means it will apply only for the particular width actually. So width means it's like a x-axis, height means it's like a y-axis. I guess sorry, I hope you know. So height and width means it's like a height as well as width of the particular element. Okay, I think this position fixed, I think this will take time. I don't teach as of now. I will teach you a little further classes. Okay, then we will go for the border actually as of now. This border, from the name itself, you will understand what it will do. It will create the border around the element. Okay, first I will tell you how can we apply the border. Then we will see the different styles of border. Like instead of the solid, I can provide some other types as well. Okay, so this thing I will show you here. Maybe for which element I have that. Okay, just consider the same element. For this test element, I want to add some border. Okay, maybe, but what it will do, it will take entire this thing. Okay, I don't want to use this thing. Hmm. So for which element I want to use some border? Yeah, consider this section. Okay, for this section, sorry, for this section, I want to add the border for the section. Okay, so how can I do this thing? So how means, so first I will add a little class, sorry, sample class here, something like border sample. Okay, this border sample, as usual, I'm providing a border of 1 pixel solid, and I'm giving a hash rename. This is a hash code of one way of defining the color. I will tell you later what is this thing. So this is like a hash code of the particular element, particular color. So every color we can define in a three different manner. One is hash code, one is the same name, and then another one is a hexacode. I think something is there actually. Okay, I think this is the hexacode. I think two other ways is there. If I hover, as you can see here now, this is what we can define everything. Okay, but in terms of text means it will have the standard color. We can't define something like light red or thick red. So if I want to use some other thing, then we have to go for the hash code only. Except actually. Okay. So okay, now I'm just defining also. Here I'm then mentioning border of 1 pixel. This means but the border size is 1 pixel. Solid means what type of type actually. So I will tell you different types actually later. And one more thing, here I am providing a gray color. So this union is nothing but a gray color for the particular border. Actually. Okay. So this border for which element I have added is for this element I have added, for this section I have added a little border actually. Okay. So now I will refresh the web page. As you can see here, now the border is getting added here. Okay. Instead of E9, I think E9 is little lighter. I will add the little darker one. This is the dark one I am adding. Okay. So now I am, as you can see here, now the particular element has some little darker border. Okay, instead of this 1 pixel, I will add a like 10 pixel border. So this will increase the width of the particular border, not the element, only the width of the particular. As you can see here, now after adding the border of 10 pixel, now the particular element become 10 pixel. Okay. So in case if I reduce into 5 pixel, it will reduce the height, sorry, width of the particular border. Okay, now this width is getting decreased actually. Okay, so this is what about increasing and decreasing actually. Okay, now okay, one more thing. Here we are providing a 3 values. First one is the width of the particular element. Solid means it will type of the border. The next one is color of the border. Okay, so here I can provide the some other types as well. So which means instead of solid, there's some 7 different types is there. Here I'm providing a dash section. I think so dash. Yeah, this dash was into it will create a border in this dashed property. So if I refresh it, as you can see here, this is the one. In case if I want to have the design like this, then I can go for this thing. So I think apart from this, and then I have. That's just try to do something there. Yeah, this glue what it will do, I think it will have the same thing, but it has some different types of style actually, but it's different than the solid actually. And then different styles. Once again. Yeah. This is a different type of border actually. Okay, this is a solid border. This is a glue border. This is dotted and dashed. Okay, we will see dotted actually also. So dotted means if I do dot, as you can see here, the dotted will be shown. So dash means the dash will be shown. Dotted means the dotted will be shown to the particular element. Okay, the next one is dotted insert. So like this, there's a lot of things is there. So if you want to export, then you can use this as well. Okay, so here I'm just showing, but the only thing is just we need to change the type of the border. That's it. Okay, and then same thing. Okay, here one more thing is there. Okay, here I'm giving the border which will apply all over the element, top, right, left border. In case instead of all over the element, if I want to apply the border only for the particular side, which means only for the top or only for the left side or only for the bottom, then I can go for this as well. I think border top means this will apply only for the top, I think so. Yeah. So now this border will be applicable only for the top thing. Instead of, in case if I didn't provide any value, then what it will do, it will apply for everywhere. It will apply for the all the places for the particular element. So instead, if I use top, then it will apply to the all over the element actually. Okay, this is the first one. The next one is bottom. So now the particular bottom will be shown to the element. So the next one is left side. And then next one is right side means only for the particular right action. Like this, we can do for bottom as well. Sorry, sorry. And here you can do one more thing. Okay, as you can see here, now the right side is having something. Okay, So now I want to add for the bottom as well as the right side. Okay. So for this thing, what I can do is I can provide like this. So here, right side I am providing, and the bottom I am providing. That's it, right? So in case, in this, as you can see here, bottom as well as only the right side, I'm just having the particular bottom. So now it has one more scenario as well, which means all the three sides I need instead of the bottom, which means top, right and left should have the bottom. Only the, sorry, top, right and left and the top should have the value border, and the bottom should not have, means we can have two solutions, which means I can provide the bottom, so I can provide the border for top, right and left. This is the one solution. Otherwise, we can provide the border for all the four sides. Then I can have the border as none, which means the question is like I don't need the border only for the bottom. All the three sides should have the border, which means now first thing what I'm doing is I will give the border for all the four sides. Okay, this is the first one. But okay, now I'm just doing this thing. Okay, now what it will do? It will have the all the four sides as the bottom. Okay, so instead of this thing, I want to. I don't need the border for the only particular bottom actually. Okay, so due to this thing, I need a bottom of none. So here providing a none means this will override only for the bottom. So which means all the three sides will have the border. Then only the none will not have. So if I refresh it, you can see that right and left will have the border, and only the top does not have the border. Okay, so this is what about this is another solution. We can remove the bottom border, and still the other sides will be the same one. Okay, so this is what about border thing. This will be applicable for some other things also. It's like a adding everything and removing for the some certain scenarios. Otherwise, you can provide the border only for the border left, right, and the top. This is also one solution, but depends on the your way of convenience. So what is your convenience, then you can provide the value. If it is this type of requirement. Okay, then next one, the last one is, as you can see here, border radius. Border radius means it's like if you want to add a curve, particular curve to the element, then I can go for the cursor actually. Okay, so what I can do is okay. I think for the curve I can go for this also, which means the sample heading. This is no. So for this element or for this particular heading, I want to add the curve actually. Okay, so how can I do that is, so for the sample heading, no, I am giving the border radius. So as you can see here, after giving the radius, the little curve is coming, right? Okay, due to that maybe I will increase the radius size as 15 pixel. Okay, as you can see here, the little radius is getting increased actually. Okay, so this is what about border radius actually. And one more thing, instead of 15 I'm giving 35 pixel, the way more the radius will be decided. Okay, so here there is a one way of things. What will happen? Half of the height will become a circle. For example, maybe I am providing the height of 70 pixel. Half of the height will become a circle. Half of the height of something will be the 1 second. So width also 70. Yeah, this is what about. So width and height with the same thing, and the border radius of half of the height and width will become a little circle in the border radius actually. Okay, so this is what about. If you want to add a circle, then we can go for this concept. Maybe I will type. I will remove the heading. Now you will see the particular round shape. This is a round shape I can create in our application. Okay, so which means this has to be properly calculated, which means both width and height should have the same value, and border radius is half of this value. Then it will create a simple circle. It will form a circle. The same thing in case if I provide like 140 or 150, 150, sorry, 150, 75, right? 70, 70, 140, 150. Yeah. So now it will become a little bigger circle. Yeah, this is what I put circle. So in case if we want to use some other like this, then we can go for this concept as well. This is what I put little circle using the border radius. In case if I reduce this value, then it won't create a circle. It will create a different one. In case if I put like 10 pixels, it won't be like this. It will become a different one. So it's like a simple square shape with the little radius. Okay. Okay. So this is what about border radius along with the height and width actually. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Still now any other doubts or I'm just going like anything. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, I think we can wind up for today. I think most of the things we have covered actually. So border radius, everything. Yeah, I think only the three topics is pending: padding, margin, and cursor. Okay, these are the three topics are pending. I think we will see for tomorrow if you are not having any doubts actually. Yeah, guys. I think then we can wind up for today.